What's going on, guys? Dead Messy here. I decided to stream yesterday and everyone's been asking for me to try Araxx, so I said why not. We went ahead and bought a Noxious bow for 184 mil. Yes, 184. They're crashing so incredibly much. I tried to buy it for 189, wouldn't even buy it for 189, it instantly bought for 184. Pretty insane, kind of nervous about that. Might not be selling the bow back, might just be keeping it. But I said, okay, why not? Why not try Araxx? I've never tried it. Well, I lied. I've tried it a couple times, never been successful with it. I've died plenty of times. So I decided today we would try and we would go for a successful kill. This is my 4th kill. I decided to record it. The first 3 kills I wasn't even able to pull off. I got somewhat close on one of them to the final phase, but again I got wrecked on the final phase. So this one we definitely learned and we were getting better at it. This is by no means though the best, so don't copy me exactly on how I do it, and I know I will receive some criticism most likely for the video because there's a lot of things I need to work on getting better at, especially resonance with my shield. That's a big one. Learning the attacks and learning as soon as Araxx, or as soon as Araxx is going to web. I'm supposed to be putting my shield on and using resonance, but I'm just not that fast with it yet, so I'm still kind of working on that. But moving on to the second phase here, this is the whole point, is to stay in the light on this phase. You need to stay in the light and you need to blow up the eggs that spawn right here. Prayer flicking on this phase is key too. I didn't do too much of it, mainly because it was my 4th kill and I was more focused on trying to stay alive rather than worrying about the little details. But prayer flicking on this between range and magic is key. But the biggest point is to destroy the eggs and then anticipate which way Araxx is going to be coming from attacking you and leaning the way he's leaning. So that's one of the things I need to work on, is the way he leans, I need to lean that way. Either way he's going to hit the wall, but you know, if you lean the correct way and you don't get hit by him at all, you're going to destroy the wall a lot faster, as well as if you're in the light, the more you are, you're going to help with the process of destroying the wall a lot quicker. It took me 3 times to get the wall destroyed, which isn't too much, but I've also done it in 2 times, so it's kind of pretty impressive that way. But you'll notice the first 2 times he attacks, I go the wrong way every time. The last time I finally get it right, I lean the way he's leaning and I don't take any damage at all, but you will take 2,500 damage if you go the wrong way. Right here I let some of the spiders spawn. I wasn't able to kill the eggs as fast, so you know, you end up killing them, but you end up having to kill 20 more once you move on to the next phase. So the biggest thing is to not let them spawn at all. Try to keep them blown up when they're in their eggs. And the biggest thing is keep equipped in your shield. You want to use your resonance. Right there I dodge it finally. I get the last one dodge. I was pretty excited. So I move on to the next phase. The whole point of this phase, guys, is to destroy the 20 spiders that spawn. It's going to spawn 20 spiders. That's just a thing. You need to kill the spiders. Don't let them come onto the last phase with you, because if they do, you will be taking a lot of damage and most likely you will not be successful. There's 4 or 5 different types of spiders. I don't know exactly. I believe there's 4, but there might be 5. The biggest thing about the spiders though is one of them is called a mirrorback spider. The mirrorback spider, it just popped up right there, so I'm attacking it right now. That is the spider you need to kill first. If you kill any, kill the mirrorback first, then move on to the other ones. One of them heals Araxx, a couple of them just attack you, and the mirrorback, I believe, will take any damage and reflect it back to you. If I'm correct, I might not be. But there's a couple different ones. Just make sure you kill all 20 of them before moving on to the last phase. You shouldn't have to worry about attacking Araxx too much here. It's mostly just worrying about the other spiders and getting them killed. You will have your chance to kill all of your or to put all your damage into Araxx before moving on to the next phase. As you can tell, right at the top of my screen, there's 2 little icons. The icon to the right is a skull with a cross through it. That's going to tell you how enraged Araxx is. Every time you kill Araxx, the enrage goes up, and every time the enrage goes up, it becomes a little bit harder to kill. You get hit for a little bit more each time on different attacks. So usually you can get about 4 kills in successfully a day with the enrage as what it is. I was up to about 40%, which was kind of scary because it's not too bad, but it's getting up there. And the the icon that was off to the left, that will tell you how many spiders you have left to kill before successfully killing a Araxx. You want to make sure, like I said, not to let any of the spiders come into the last phase. The biggest thing here on this phase is keep your adrenaline at 100% going into the last phase. I don't keep it at 100%, unfortunately. I need to still remember and remind myself to do that. I ended up keeping it about 60% going into the last phase, but you want to keep it at 100%, so when you do, you have a good advantage on damage as starting out, because you will be damaged a lot in the last phase. There's acid that you have to dodge, as well as a lot of different attacks from Araxx. So the biggest thing here too is remember that it's going to be swiping the entire kill, guys. It's going to swipe, your familiar will be hit, your familiar most likely will die. Luckily I was able to bring my familiar onto the last phase before it died, but the swipe eventually does kill it. So make sure you pick up your food from your familiar off the ground. So finally I'm on the last part of this, guys. I start off by being frozen, and you guys need to spam click to get out of that. When you are webbed, you need to spam click. That's the only way you can get out of it. You're going to constantly take damage, and that damage will increase the more the enrage is up. The other thing here is you need to focus on your prayer flicks, guys. You're going to see magic attacks. Magic attacks are the acid, and the range attacks are what looks like a web coming towards you. Make sure you're prayer flicking as much as you can. I didn't do the best at it, mainly because, like, again, this was my 4th kill. I'm more focused on just killing Araxx, keeping my health up, and I will worry about that more as I get better at it. But you guys will see the acid soon popping up. I think the acid pops up at about 40,000 health is when it starts popping up, and you'll see it bouncing around. I didn't do a good job at all with the acid because I had no idea it was coming. So mainly I just kept running around, and I wouldn't stand still. You want to let it bounce 5 times around you, and then it will bounce on you. That's when you need to move. I was running around way too much, and as you can tell, it's not that well put together. But just remember, let it bounce 5 times, then you need to move when it comes after you. We were able to get the kill, though. It was pretty successful. I got 2 uncut onyx as my first drop. I was debating on whether I should pet roll or not. Everyone was telling me do not pet roll, but it was kind of a big deal for me. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and stay tuned in for the next videos to come.